Hello friends, last class I discussed about depth giving, identifying visible lines and surfaces, and one of the important method, that is surface rendering, right? Today I'll discuss about exploded and cutaway views. As you know that many graphics packages they allow the objects to be defined as a hierarchy structure so that the internal details of that particular object can be stored. Here, exploded and cutaway views of such objects can be used to show the internal structure and the internal relationship of the object parts. Actually, here the technique is we are exploding an object into its component parts, that is a cutaway view, which will remove the part of visible surface to show the internal structure of the objects. That is what the technique is, exploded and cutaway views. And the next important concept is three-dimensional and stereoscopic viewing. Actually, three-dimensional displays and the stereoscopic views, these are the methods for adding a scene of realism to a computer generated scene. Means actually these are the methods of adding or showing the realistic view of a computer generated scene, right? So the three-dimensional views can be obtained by reflecting a raster image from a vibrating flexible mirror. So as I told this already, right? Here the vibrations of the mirror are synchronized with the display of the scene on a CRT. As the mirror vibrates, then the focal length of the mirror it varies so that each point in the scene is reflected to a special position corresponding to its depth. So that is what we can able to achieve the three-dimensional effect. Then the next important method is that is the stereoscopic views, right? Or stereoscopic viewing. Here the stereoscopic devices they present two views of a scene. One is for the left eye and other is for the right eye. The viewing positions are corresponding to the eye position of the viewer, and these two views are typically displayed on an alternate refresh cycle of a raster monitor or the frame buffer of a raster monitor. When we view the monitor through the special glasses, then it will darken first one lens, then it will allow the other lens and vice versa. So that is in synchronization with a monitor refresh cycles. So we see the scene displayed with a three-dimensional effect. This is how the stereoscopic viewing work. Then the next concept is a three-dimensional viewing pipeline. So the procedure for generating a computer graphics view of a three-dimensional scene. It will know some of the steps here. So and this is very analogous to the processes which are involved in taking a photograph. First of all, we need to choose a viewing position corresponding to where we would place a camera. We choose the viewing position according to whether we want to display a front, back, side, top or the bottom view of the scene. Then we could also pick a position in the middle of the group of objects or even inside the single object such as a molecule or building and all. Then we must decide on the camera orientation, which way do we want to point the camera from viewing position and how should we rotate it around the line of sight to set up the direction of a picture. Finally, when we snap the picture, then the scene is cropped to the size of selected clipping window, which corresponding to aperture or the lens type of the camera, and light from the visible surface is projected onto the camera film. So here there is more flexibility and there are many more options for generating views of a scene with a computer graphics program that we do with a real camera. Here we can choose to use either a parallel projection or a perspective projection so that we can selectively eliminate the parts of a scene along the line of sight. We can move the projection plane away from the camera position, and even we can get a picture of objects in back to our synthetic camera. Here the three-dimensional scene are similar, or they can be similarly used in a two-dimensional viewing pipeline. As you know that a two-dimensional viewport is used to position a projected view of a three-dimensional scene on the output device, and a two-dimensional clipping window is used here to select the view that is to be mapped to the viewport. In addition, we set up a display window in the screen coordinate just as you do in the two-dimensional application. The clipping windows, viewports, and the display windows are usually specified as rectangles, as we know. So here the clipping window, viewport, and the display windows, they are normally specified as rectangles with their edges which are parallel to the coordinate axis. In three-dimensional viewing, however, the clipping window is positioned on a selected view plane and scenes are clipped against an enclosed volume of space, so which is defined by the set of clipping planes. The viewing position, view plane, clipping window, and the clipping planes, they are specified within the viewing coordinate reference frame. The next is an important process, right? So in this figure, as it will show the general processing steps for creating and transforming a three-dimensional scene to a device coordinates. Here, once the scene has been modeled in word coordinates, a viewing coordinate system is selected and the description of the scene is converted to a viewing coordinates. Then the viewing coordinate system defines the viewing parameters including the position and orientation of the projection plane. This is also known as view plane, which we can think of as the camera plane. Of course, these are same: viewing plane, projection plane, or the camera plane. Then a two-dimensional clipping window corresponding to a selected camera lens is defined on the projection plane, and a three-dimensional clipping region is established here. This clipping region is called as viewing volume or view volume, and its shape and size, it depends upon dimensions of the clipping window, the type of projection as we choose, and the selected limiting positions along the viewing direction. Projection operations are performed here to convert the viewing coordinate description of the scene to coordinate positions on the projection plane. Objects are mapped to normalized coordinates and all parts of the scene which are outside the view value, they are clipped off. The clipping operations can be applied after all device independent coordinate transformations are completed. In this way, the coordinate transformations can be concatenated for the maximum efficiency. As in two-dimensional viewing, the viewport limits could be given in a normalized coordinates or in a device coordinates. In developing the viewing algorithm, we will assume that the viewport is to be specified in device coordinates and that normalized coordinates are transformed to viewport coordinates following the clipping operations. There are also very few tasks that must be performed, such as identifying the visible surfaces and applying the surface rendering procedures. The final step is to map viewport coordinates to device coordinates within a selected display window. Scene descriptions in the device coordinate are sometimes expressed in left-handed reference frame or buffer frame so that the positive distance from the display scene can be used to measure the depth values in the scene. Thank you.